What's up, everybody? So I was talking to one of my engineers, one of my friends today, and I asked her to do something for me on Friday. And she says, "Hey, can you remind me? Because I forget a lot." And then I said, "Can you remind me to remind you? Because I forget a lot." And then she said, "Can you remind me to remind you to remind me to remind you of the thing that I needed her to do?" But that got me to think about how, I'm a very forgetful person, which is why I need to write things down all the time. I use Google Keeps and all of that. But, when it comes to God, and if we look at all throughout the Old Testament, the reason why God's people were always punished or always rebuked was because they always forgot who their God was, who their creator was, who brought them out of Egypt. Right? If you think about the Ten Commandments, it says, remember the Sabbath. Got to remember things. And so sometimes we lose our fire, we lose our spiritual fire because we forget who God is to us. And we don't remember the times that God helped us out. We don't remember the scriptures, the encouraging words in the gospel. And if you're like me and you have bad memory, right? Make a list, write them down, write 5 times that God has helped you out, and have that list on you at all times. So when you start to feel discouraged, you can pull that out. And it's even more encouraging when you can share that with someone else and you can share your testimony. So, and it ties in with what Pastor Mike was talking about, how we're blessed because we have a relationship with Christ. Well, sometimes we got to remember how we fell in love with Christ, or how we started to fall for Jesus. Sometimes we forget that, just like in our own relationships, we forget why we're friends with each other, why we got so close, how do we get so close. But when we remember those things, it motivates us to love again. So remember those things about God, remember those things with you and your friends, with you and your wife, with you and your boyfriend or girlfriend, your significant other, you and your dog, or whoever. Remember, just remember, and that should motivate you to do what you need to do for God, and motivate you to love. Peace. Love all.